Before America was even imagined, before any flag ever waved across its lands, there was a dream. The dream of venturing into the unknown, of carving a life where none had been carved before. The year was 1587, and over 100 English settlers, men, women, and children, embarked on a perilous journey across the vast Atlantic Ocean. Their leader, John White, envisioned a permanent settlement on the shores of a strange and distant land. They named this place Roanoke, a small island off the coast of what is now North Carolina. The first days were filled with hope. The settlers gazed upon the dense forests and golden rivers with wonder. Children ran through the meadows, their laughter mingling with the cries of birds. Farmers tilled the rich soil, planting seeds with dreams of harvests yet to come. The air smelled of salt and earth, and the wind carried whispers of possibilities. Families built houses, painted signs, and marked trails, a civilization in its first breaths. But soon, the island revealed its challenges. Crops struggled in unexpected droughts, and storms battered the fragile homes. Local native tribes watched cautiously from the trees, their eyes sharp and distant. Misunderstandings and mistrust began to weave shadows over the settlers' optimism. John White, a man devoted to his people, realized that survival in this strange land required not just courage, but patience and unity. Amid these struggles, a beacon of hope appeared. A child was born. Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the New World, symbolized promise and continuity. Her cries filled the night, a reminder that life persisted despite hardship. John White held her close, envisioning a future where generations would thrive on Roanoke's shores. Yet fate intervened. Supplies dwindled, and White made the difficult decision to return to England to fetch aid. He left behind his family, including Virginia, promising that he would return swiftly. But 3 years passed. England was embroiled in war with Spain. The Spanish Armada threatened to consume every thought and effort. White could not sail, and the settlers endured months of isolation, relying on dwindling resources and fragile hope. When White finally returned in 1590, he imagined the joyful reunion, the laughter of children, the warmth of families gathered once again. But as his ship approached Roanoke, an eerie silence greeted him. The air, once alive with voices, now carried only the rustle of leaves. No smoke curled from chimneys, no footprints marked the sandy beaches. The colony was gone. Every house was empty, every tool abandoned. Not a single human remained. There was only one clue, a word carved deeply into a wooden post, croatoan. John White searched nearby islands, calling out, hoping for responses that never came. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. He explored every beach, forest, and creek, but Roanoke's settlers had vanished without trace. Some whispered they had been taken in by friendly tribes, blending into new lives. Others feared they had succumbed to hunger, disease, or violence. Yet the word croatoan suggested intention, not chaos, a sign pointing somewhere, but To where? No one knew. Historians and archaeologists centuries later would debate the fate of the lost colony. Archaeological digs uncovered fragments of pottery, tools, and traces of fire, but never a clear story. DNA evidence would hint at mingling with native populations, yet definitive answers remained elusive. The disappearance became a legend, a tale whispered across generations, a story of ambition, endurance, and the unforgiving mysteries of the New World.
The story of Roanoke is not merely about disappearance. It is about dreams, the desire to start anew, to embrace the unknown, and to persevere despite overwhelming odds. It is about families separated by circumstance, about leaders burdened with impossible choices, about children who symbolize hope even when surrounded by uncertainty. Imagine the island as it once was, the sun rising over dense forests, rivers shimmering like silver threads, and the air alive with the scent of salt and pine. Settlers waking to the songs of birds, to the laughter of children, to the rhythm of life painstakingly built from nothing. And then, as if a spell had fallen, the silence, profound, complete, and haunting. Houses stand as skeletons of human endeavor, tools lie where they were last used, and the forests reclaim their domain. Only the word croatoan remains, a whisper across centuries, a message to those who might come later. John White's return was both an end and a beginning. An end for his hopes of reunion, but a beginning for the legend. For even in absence, the settlers' lives spoke to those who followed. Future explorers, colonists, and historians would look to Roanoke not as failure, but as a testament to human ambition and the mysteries that surround the birth of nations. Some theories say the settlers were absorbed by local tribes, learning from them, merging cultures in ways lost to history. Others suggest they moved inland, seeking safer or more fertile lands, leaving only subtle traces of their presence. Perhaps they faced disease, starvation, or conflict. Or perhaps they simply vanished into the forests, becoming part of the land itself, a reminder that history is not only written in ink, but in the whispers of trees, in the flow of rivers, and in the echoes of silence. Centuries later, Roanoke's mystery remains one of America's first unsolved puzzles. Yet it is not only a story of loss, it is a story of hope. It is a story of the human spirit daring to dream beyond known horizons. It is the first chapter of English America, a story etched not in books or official records, but in courage, ambition, and a single word carved into wood, croatoan. And so Roanoke lives on, in imagination, in inquiry, and in the dreams of those who look to the past to understand the beginnings of the present. Its silence speaks louder than voices ever could. Its mystery invites wonder, reflection, and respect. The Lost Colony reminds us that history is sometimes hidden, not destroyed, that beginnings are not always linear, and that every dream carries the possibility of both hope and vanishing.